Hey guys, it's Josh Shepard coming to you here from the wonderful studios here at the Mountain Arts Center in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Very blessed to have this place here in our town and in our state. We get asked this question all the time. Hey, when you guys are playing Kentucky Opry Show and you're up there on stage, are you guys reading music? Are you reading staff? What are you guys reading on your music stand? So we're going to kind of do a myth buster today. I'm going to talk to you about what's called the Nashville number system, and it's used in most all studios and variety shows and recording sessions. And we're going to talk to you today about just a generalized summary of how that system works. And hope you're ready to have some fun and learn something new. So the Nashville number system is basically a system of numbers that are related to the major scale in music. So you remember in school when you had to learn do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and you thought you'd never use it? Now's when you use it. So what would happen, say if we're in the studio, or say somebody comes up and wants to record a song, or if we're going to do a song in Kentucky Opry Show, and we make sure that everybody's on the same page, okay? Everybody has the same chart. So what would happen, we'd either listen to the song, or say if we're in a recording session, somebody would come in with an idea, and maybe with an acoustic guitar or a piano, and they would play part of a demo. And it's up to the arrangers, musician, producer, whoever's in charge, to put the song on paper. So let's say, for instance, if I come in a studio, like the Mountain Arts Center studio, and I said, okay, I want to record Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. So, if we were going to chart that in the Nashville number system, the first thing we got to figure out is our tempo and our key. So we're going to put this on paper, and you're going to see in real time how we chart this song. First, we use some music theory, just some basic common knowledge music theory. You remember what I said about do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do? That, in a nutshell, covers the Nashville number system. So basically, and I'm going to draw out a little template. So, like I said before, what is used are numbers. So if we take what's a major scale. So say if I want to sing the song Amazing Grace, like I just did previously in the key of G, we're going to use what's called a major scale, and it's the notes that make up the scale, okay? So what that means is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's where that comes from. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Now these are the numbers that you're going to use on a chart. So we get into the studio on the Mac stage. I say, okay guys, we're going to do Amazing Grace. And I'm going to sing the key of G. Okay? And by the way that I play it, I'm playing it in a certain time signature. Every song's got a certain time signature. So the way I was playing it was in 3/4 time, which is considered waltz time. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It's 3/4 time. Now, the way I sing it and the way somebody else sings it may be totally different. So it all depends on who's singing the song and who is doing the arranging, and this kind of stuff can be changed on the fly. So I'm in the key of G, and let's say we're doing it in 3/4 time. Okay. Now, every song that you hear is going to have a verse, a chorus. Sometimes it's going to have a bridge. What I just sang was the first verse. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. So going through the verse, I'm going to write V1 for verse 1. Now, if the song has an intro, say if there's a instrumental intro, like a piano intro or a guitar intro, that will be noted. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go down the line through the song. So just for an example, I'm going to chart the first verse of this song. So in the first verse, when I start singing, every piece of music that goes on is split up into bars. Okay. So here's how I would write it. Amazing grace. That would be a 1. Now the reason that's a 1, I'm in the key of G. Okay. G is my 1 chord. So that's my main chord of the song. That is a bar. That gets 3 beats. When I go to the next bar, that will also get 3 beats. When I go to my next bar, that's going to be a 4 chord. So here's how it's going to sound. Amazing grace, how sweet. So the 4 chord, when I look at my scale, that's a C. So I'm going to play a C chord. How sweet the sound. That bar will resolve back to a 1. So I'm back to a G chord. That saved a wretch like me. Now we got a 5. My 5 chord is a D. So I've got 3 different chords. The G chord, C chord, and a D chord. Now this is where it comes in to know your major scales. So there is some music theory involved. That just comes with practicing and knowing your instrument, basically. So we've got a G chord. We're in the key of G. That's our root chord. The numbers are going to tell me which chord that I'm going to play for that particular bar. So the 5 is a D chord. That'll be played for 3 beats. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I'll have another 5. I once was lost, but now I'm found. So when I get to here, basically got the same melody. That's basically what you're focusing all this off of, is the melody. Now, when I get to the next bar, we're going to play a minor chord. So most of the time in your song, your 6 chords are minor chords. Now you may say, what's the difference between a major chord and a minor chord? How do you know which is which? The easiest way to remember, a major chord sounds happy. A minor chord sounds sad. So when I have a 6 here, I'm going to put a mark. That mark on a chart generally means that it's a minor chord. Now, the way I write a chart and the way somebody else writes a chart could be different. They could put that as a minor, or they could put a little M beside of it, or a mark. That's where the communication comes in with your band, whoever you're playing with, to ask, you know, what's this symbol mean? How are you charting this? Etc., etc. Was blind, but now I'm back to the 5 chord, which is a D. I see, and I resolve on the 1. So let's go through this again. We're getting 3 beats per bar. We're in the key of G. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. So each bar, we had 3 beats. Every number is going to tell you what type of chord or which chord in the scale that's being played. So aside from numbers that we're reading, there's also different symbols that are used as well. Different symbols such as what's called a split bar. Now, when the saying is mathematics is involved a lot in music, that is true. So basically, if I had, say if this song was in 4/4, 4 beats per bar, and I wanted to play 2 different chords in the same bar, we would write it out as a split bar. So say, for instance, if I'm still in Amazing Grace and I wanted to write a split bar, I could put a 6 minor and a 5 together in a split bar. So that means this would get 2 beats and this would get 2 beats. So basically you're cutting it in half. Some people will write it that, some people will write it like this. Again, it depends on who writes the chart. So there's always open communication amongst the band, singer, and we're always doing some kind of revisions to the chart. That's just the way it goes in order to make everybody play on the same page. Now, another reason why we do the Nashville number system. There's been several times we get ready for a show, we have sound check or rehearsal. Singer comes in and says, hey, we're going to do Amazing Grace, but I'm a little under the weather and I really can't sing it in G. G's a little bit too high. So let's say we're going to sing it in D, okay? This doesn't change. This stays the same. The only thing you have to change is the key of the song. So when I change the key of the song, say if we change it to D, all I would do is I would think about the D scale. So nothing changed number-wise, symbols, nothing changed. The arrangement didn't change, just the key of the song, okay? So now, the 1 is a D, my 4 chord is a G, my 5 chord is an A, my 6th minor is a B. So I didn't have to change anything last minute on my chart. All I had to change was the key. So that makes it a lot easier and more, I guess, just easier to deal with in certain situations. So that, in a nutshell, is the Nashville number system. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the Nashville number system video with us today. I really enjoyed explaining some of the benefits that we use this on stage, in the studio, songwriters, arrangements, producing. I hope it made some sense to you. And like I said, if you got any questions about it, you can contact me via Facebook. I'd be glad to help you out any way that I can. And come see a Kentucky Opry show. We'd love to see you out in the crowd. Thank you so much.